Morning guys, Dinner Lady here. Right, so I was in the office last week, as you all know, and I was sat next to a young girl who was originally from New Zealand. We got talking, not about the channel or anything, but just about the things that she missed the most about that. And what she said was her grandma's steak and cheese pie. And it got me thinking, and I thought, oh, so over the weekend I've done a little bit of research. So it might not be to everybody's recipe, and I do apologise for that, but this is the recipe that I know that it'll go down well with me and Ian, and maybe a couple of others in the family, because it will be a few pies. So I'll bring you down, I'll show you the ingredients that I've got. Right, so I have my pot on warming up. So the first thing I've got is a bit of brisket, got from the butcher's this morning, and kindly chunked it up for us, so it's nice big chunks. Got some onions, some carrots and celery, some Worcester sauce. I'm going to make a beef stock with the water and the beef broth cube, and then I'm going to... Another thing I found out when I was researching this is not to use flour, they use corn flour with the salt and pepper on top of the beef. Also they do like to have shortcrust pastry on the bottom, which I'm going to make with me plain flour, me butter and me lard as normal, and obviously some water. And from when I did the sausage rolls, I had puff pastry left over, so rough puff, sorry, not puff pastry. So I've had that in the freezer, so I'm getting that out. So I'm going to put a short crust pastry on the bottom and a puff pastry on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep my beef, and then we'll come back. Right, so I have a bit of corn flour in there now. Put a bit of salt. And a bit of pepper. Not a lot of pepper, because I do tend to find it can burn, but I do want that flavour. Always add more at the end. And then just pop our beef in there. Just get your hands in, cover it, and then we're going to sear this off. In the pan. Just in batches like we normally do. Get rid of these lot. Right, so I've had the pan warming up a little bit. I'm going to put just a little bit of veg oil in there. Now I could do this in the slow cooker, however I have been told not everybody has got what I've got. So I'm just going to do it the old fashioned way on a hob. Yes, it's not the conventional hob, but if you've got a hob you can do it this way. So just put it in there. I've got this on fry at the moment, so it's just a medium, not too high, and don't over stack your pan. Right, so I'm just going to let that go, and when it's all browned I'll come back. Right, so I've seared off all of the beef, leave all of that bits and pieces in there, and what I want to put in next is the onions. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down, because I just want this not as hot, and I just want them to sweat down. And what you can see is already picking up the beef juices, the little scruddy bits off the side. Right, so I'll give that probably about 5 minutes. Still a bit hot at the moment, but it will come down. And I know I forgot something with the ingredients, a couple of bay leaves. You can put any seasonings in your life. You can put some hard herbs, some thyme, rosemary, whatever you want. But I'm just going to make this as the basic meat and cheese pie. With a lovely beef filling, the cheese and the pastry. So when them will come down a little bit, I'll come back to you. Right, so these have got some lovely colour on them now. So all I'm going to do is add the carrots and the celery and let them sweat for another few minutes. Add the bay leaves in there. going to cook for a couple of hours with the lid on, and then about 30 minutes with the lid off. Right, so we'll just give them a few more minutes. Right, so they've had a few minutes as well. So I'm just going to pop the beef back in. And all of the juices that's collected in the bottom. Right, we'll put about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce in there. And then I've got 500 mils of the bottle stock. Might need a little bit more, we'll just see how that goes. Right, I think that should be alright for now. I'll keep topping it up. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit just to bring it to the boil. And once it's boiled, I'll put it down to a simmer. Like I say, leave it covered for a couple of hours, but check it every half hour. Just check the gravy levels, so everything is down in the pan. It smells lovely. Put that there. So we rinse this out with a little bit of water because there's a bit of bottle left at the bottom. And I don't like to waste. Right. I'm not putting any more salt and pepper in at the moment. I want it because the bothel's pretty salty. There was salt and pepper on the beef. And as this reduces and concentrates, the salt levels will come back up as well. So the last thing I want to do is to make this over salty. So I'll wait until it's cooked, and if it needs more salt and pepper, then I'll get more salt and pepper on it. Right, so what I'll do is I'll bring this up to a simmer, put the lid on, and we'll come back when it's done. Right, so that's now been going for 2.5 hours, 2 hours with the lid on, and a half an hour with the lid off. So really, before we make the pies, this needs to be cold. So I'm just going to turn it off and just leave it now with the lid off, just to evaporate any of the hot air, and we'll come back when it's time to make the pies. Right, so it's time to do the shortcrust paste. You've seen us do this before. I've got 200 grams of plain flour in there. I'm just going to put in a pinch of salt into that. I've got 50 grams of cold butter and 50 grams of cold lard. Just going to pulse that together until it resumes look like breadcrumbs. A little bit more. There we go. I'm just getting some water there because again, wasn't quite ready enough to get it all done. So here we go. Drizzle the water in until it takes it all in. I've got 250 mils in here. So that is actually taking, got a 200, so that was 50 mils of cold water. I'm just going to wrap this up in cling film and put it in the fridge for a couple of hours while the meat filling is still cooling down. Right guys, time's come to start making the pies. I've got my little dishes. I've got 6 of these. They are very small, as you can see, but I'm hoping to make 6 pies out of this. I've already larded them up, greased them, sorry, larded them up. And I'm just starting to, I took this out of the fridge about 15 minutes ago, just to try and, a bit too hard in the fridge. Just gonna, and I've also got my rough puff here. I actually had 2 of them in the freezer, so I took both of them out. can tell it's still a little bit cold because it's cracking, but it's not the end of the world. There we go. Just keep rolling this, turning it. See, it is cracking just a little bit. I don't know whether it's too cold still or whether the heat's starting to get to it, but you can always patch it up. That is definitely not a problem. Right, so I'm going to do 4 of this, and then re-roll the pastry again with the leftovers. I'm just going to get the butter knife, which is there. I don't want to go on my surface too much. It's down there, and down there. Put these to one side a little bit. Stretch this out just a little bit more. Pop it in. The easiest way to do that is to put another one inside. I think it is a little bit cold, so I'll just do it this way instead. Pop that in there like that. And you get all the way around, so you can see. Take off the excess. Pop that like that. Right, I'm just going to do the other ones and then I'll come back to you. Right, so I've got all 6 of the bases done. And I'm just going to get on. I've put the oven on to start warming up. I've got it on bake at 140 fan, and this is going to be for the lids. This is the rough puff that I've had in the freezer. A little bit wet with it coming out of the freezer, but that's fine. I'm just going to warm this out. I've got 2 of these, so I'm sure I'll be able to get 6 lids. Up. There we go. I'm just going to get 3 cutters. Give me 1 second, guys. Think, oops, that one will probably be about the right size. Get 1, 2, 3, 4 out of that, definitely. And then whatever's left over from this and that, then I'll actually make something else with it, maybe some cheese straws or something tomorrow. But I'm just going to crack on and fill up the pies. Right, so that's all done there now. I'm just going to pop some filling in to each one. I can only fit 3 on a tray in that little oven. I've already checked that. So what I'll do is I'll put 3 in, make up the other 3, may even pop them in the fridge for half an hour because it is absolutely red hot. Ian's in from work and he's gone sat out in the garden, which I'm very envious of. But once these are in the oven and the others are done, I'll be sat out there with them. There we go. Make sure you've got plenty filling in there. Don't want to skimp on your pies. He says to us, are you regretting making pies? And I went, absolutely not. Right, so I've grated 100 grams of cheese. So I'm going to pop some cheese on the top of each one of these. If I need to grate some more for the others, then I will do that. But I think maybe 100 grams will be enough. Now you do want to have a well-filled pie, like I say. Right, so I've got some egg yolks. The egg whites have gone into the egg white bag in the freezer. As normal, I've got 4 in there now, so I might do some meringues at the weekend, or even a pavlova. Not had a pavlova in a long while. Put the lid on. Squeeze that down. There we go. Now, get a fork. Make sure that together. I've got the tray in there, so the tray is warming up as well, so you'll automatically get heat straight from the bottom as soon as they go in there. Go. And as always, guys, I always do this first and then put the air holes in. Sometimes if you do it the other way round, they can actually fill up with egg, so your air holes don't work and then your pies will explode. So just in case, do that first. Put your air holes in. 3 long like that. I'm going to do the other 3 and then we'll get them in the oven. Right, so I've done 3 of them and I'm just going to get these into the mini oven now. Tray will be lovely and warm. Let's get on there, there, and there. I'm going to put these in for about 25 to 30 minutes. So I've got them on for 25 and I'll just carry on doing the rest and then we'll come back once these are done. Right, so we're into the last minute. I did put them on for an extra 5 minutes. It was on at 25 minutes by the time it warmed up and then it's just stopped. Going to get those out. Look at them, absolutely gorgeous. Shut that so it stays nice and warm to put the other 3 in. I'm just going to get these out now, let them rest before I take them out of the tins, just probably about 10 minutes. There we go. Put the other ones on here. Back in the oven, 140. So I know these took 30 minutes, so I'll put these on for 30 minutes as well. Right, straight in there. It's all bake. .30 and we'll let these ones rest for a little bit before we take them out because they're still piping hot at the moment. We'll give them about 5 minutes and I'll take them off and let them rest on the rack. Right, so I've let these rest for about 5 minutes and I'm going to take them out of the pans. Just gonna, there we go, straight out there. Just gonna pop them on there and then let them rest for a little bit longer and then it's time to have something to eat.
Alright guys, taste testing time for Betty Boy. Look at this lovely beauty. Get a nice shot of that for the thumbnail. Lovely. Right, let's try the main event then. Delicious pie. There we go. Lovely. Yep, that's lovely. The puff pastry on the top, short crust on the bottom, nicely cooked. The filling is nice. Mushy peas. I like mushy peas. I'm going to be blowing them all away tomorrow at work. That's lush. Really, really nice. As always, we only do food that we like. Isn't that right, Mrs?
Exactly. It's point in doing stuff that we don't like. That's not going to get ridiculous.
That's really nice. The gravy's nice as well. Goes nicely with the pie. That's a nice filling, easy, quick tea. Lovely. I'll finish that off in a minute. Right, so once again, thanks for watching, subscribing, commenting, liking. Keep them coming. Any recipe ideas, give us a shout and we'll do our very best to do them. So we're gonna, it's baking again, hot out there. It's even hotter in this kitchen. So we're gonna finish this off, and I'm having an early night because once again I'm up early just for a change in the morning. So we'll see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching.
See you later, guys. Bye.